The Class by RIT report in Edugens provides a list of learning statements and TEKs that show what students are ready to learn. The Class by RIT report goes along with your MAP assessment and connects MAP back to the curriculum that you teach. This presentation shows how to locate and navigate this report. For more information about how to interpret and use Class by RIT, please contact the Assessment Department. We have several trainings that we can provide about this tool. To access the Class by RIT report, go to the Apps icon next to your name in the top right. Click on the icon and select Reports. Then scroll down in the middle of the page to where it says Plano Assessments. Under Plano Assessments, look in the purple box and find Class by RIT. It's the very last option. Depending on your level of access to Edugens, you may see a teacher option here, which allows you to select teacher name and class, or you may have the option to toggle to a grade level and be able to see the entire grade level at one time. In the top right, you have the different MAP tests: reading, math, science, and language usage. Regardless what subject you teach, you will have access to all of the MAP tests taken by the students in your classroom. Once you've made your choices, click the green box with the white arrow to populate the report. This is the Class by RIT chart. This allows you to see a whole grade level, class, or subject grouped by student performance in each strand or instructional area. This is just one part of the reporting capability in this tab. Here you see an entire class of 5th grade students. This is available for grades K through 8 and Algebra 1 in all subjects where MAP is taken. On this chart, each student will appear in each instructional area. In reading, we have foundational language skills vocabulary, multiple genre, author's purpose and craft. Math has 4 instructional areas. The students will appear in each instructional area depending on how they scored in that particular area. The number in parentheses next to the student name is the student's overall score, but there may be a big difference between a student's overall score and how they performed in one particular area. One benefit of this visual is that it allows you to see the natural bell curve that forms from the performance of your students in each of the individual strands or instructional areas. You can see where most of your students performed, as well as how many bands of performance your class crosses. In this case, we have students from the 161 range all the way up to the 251 range. Note that this is a demonstration environment, and so these are not actual Plano ISD student names. You can easily identify strengths and weaknesses for your students, which is helpful in grouping. Every student, regardless of level of achievement, has strengths and weaknesses. You can see from the chart the difference between a student's overall RIT score and their performance in any one particular strand. If we look at this student at the bottom of this column, you can see in parentheses that they have a 212 overall. However, in the area of foundational language skills vocabulary, this student is placed at the 201 to 210 range, which means this particular instructional area is a relative weakness for this student. So this would be an area that this student could focus on for additional support. There are a couple different ways that this view can be printed. Up at the top, you do have the option to print this as a PDF. This is the red PDF icon at the top. It does take several pages and it does page break between each instructional area. So that may not be the clean look that you're looking for. I suggest you export it to Excel. That way you can make any changes you need to, you can make the columns bigger or smaller, you can highlight or color code whatever you need to in order to be able to see this visual in a way that makes sense for you. We'll talk about the purple PDF icon in just a moment. To find out what an individual student or group of students need to work on, we're going to drill down into a particular cell. Notice in the 201 to 210 range, all of these students appear. all of the students that are in the same cell, regardless their labels or eligibility or any special programs they may be involved in, they are all ready to learn the same content based on how they performed on MAP. So to find out what these students are ready to learn, I'm going to click in this cell. Here you see a page for students in 5th grade for reading MAP that in the area of foundational language skills vocabulary have a 201 to 210. What you see on the right-hand side are learning statements from MAP. These come directly from NWEA. These learning statements are what the questions on the MAP test are framed around. And a learning statement can have several questions framed around it at a variety of different levels of difficulty. On the other side of the page, you see the grade level standards that correspond to these learning statements. Now, this list has been filtered by grade level. So this will only show you the learning statements from MAP that correspond to your on-grade level standards. If you have a student that you know is missing some things from the grade level before, you can easily navigate down a grade by clicking the green arrow on the right-hand side. This navigates back to the previous grade level and shows you new learning statements that correspond to the grade level below. And you'll notice the grade level teaks change over here on the side. I can also navigate back up to the grade level that I was at before. From here, you do have the option to navigate up a grade level. However, we want to use that option with extreme caution. Before you go up a grade level, you need to consider, has the student mastered all of the grade level standards, including those that are not tested on MAP? Moving up a grade level before a child has truly mastered all of their TEKS creates skill gaps. Just because a student has mastered a subset of skills that was tested on MAP does not necessarily mean they have mastered all of the grade level standards. As the students work on these skills throughout the year and show mastery of these skills, then I can navigate to the right and go to the next RIT range. Move from the 201 to 210 range up to the 211 to 220 range. This is how I accelerate students, get additional growth from students without going up into the next grade level, by pushing students up RIT ranges rather than up grade levels. This page would be appropriate to share with parents or students for a variety of different reasons. Many teachers use this to do goal setting with their students, to bring meaning to MAP scores, and to share this with parents at parent conferences to help parents understand how they can help at home. To print this page for parents or for students, click on the PDF icon in the top right-hand corner. That will print a version of this page that is nice and clean and has no student names on it, so it can easily be sent home with parents. It can easily be discussed with students. I'm going to close this tab and go back to this page. There is another way that you can print this information. If I wanted to print a group of students and what they need to work on and still have student names at the top, then I could select the students that I want to see by choosing the RIT ranges at the top. I can choose one or more than one. Then click on the instructional area that you want to print. You must choose an instructional area and RIT ranges in order to be able to print. Up at the top, you want to click on the purple PDF icon, and this will allow you to print the page with student names at the top, but also have learning statements and TEKS. This would be great for planning purposes for teachers. This would be great for small group instruction, for intervention groups, for 45-45 groups, any of those small group instructional opportunities. For more information about how to use this tool, contact the assessment department about the Class by RIT trainings that are available.